I guess that he's the most famous person in the world. Not that he was ever interested in being famous in the first place. We knew he was special, but believe it or not, there was a time before all of that, when he was just a man's son. My son. Clark Kent.
That is an excerpt from one of my favourite comic books of all time, Superman for All Seasons, by Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale. Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice is not one of my favourite films, especially not of all time. But that's not the only reason why this video has taken me over a month to make. Last week, while I was struggling to film the review for Batman v Superman, I watched a load of videos from a screenwriter called Max Landis. He has so many passionate opinions about comic books, superheroes, and Superman in particular. I'll link all of the videos that I watched from him below, but to paraphrase something he said in his response to people asking him what he thought of Batman v Superman, he said that it had all been said. Everyone who had a review or, an opinion was saying everything that could be said about the movie. That's what I ended up doing when I started to film my review. In my own words, I was just regurgitating everything that everyone else had said. And that's not what I want to do. I want to do something with this show that, you can't get anywhere else because I'm the one making it. And that's why I'm not going to review Batman v Superman. You can watch, again, I'll link everything below. You can watch my initial reaction to the film. I'll post a link to that. It was on Facebook. For the most part, I agreed with what critics said about Dawn of Justice. I'll link some of my favourite reviews below, and if you want to know anything specific, hit me up on Twitter, @Joe Medforth, or on the Facebook page, facebook.com/myfavefilms. Like it if you haven't already, and, subscribe and all that sort of thing. Not only do I not want to repeat what other people have said about Batman v Superman, I also do not want to disparage the film or the filmmakers unfairly. People forget sometimes that even on a massive multi-million-dollar scale, filmmaking is such a hard endeavour. Whether there's money behind a film or not, going from concept to script to production to screen is never easy, and no one sets out to make a bad film. It's just a shame that that's what happened here. My favourite films isn't about being negative, it's about being positive. I acknowledge that Batman v Superman was disappointing and they squandered a lot of the potential, but I don't want to do that with any of my episodes. It's not what it's about. That's why I opened this episode like I did, because I want to talk about why I love comic book movies and comic books. I'll start at the beginning. This is The Amazing Spider-Man Coming Home, and it's where I first fell in love with comics. Of course, as a nerdy teen myself, how could I not relate to Peter Parker and his struggles? And I have such a vivid memory of going to see Sam Raimi's Spider-Man in the cinema. Oh my god, that trilogy. It changed things for me, not only as a comic book fan who had, up until that point, I don't think I'd ever seen a superhero on the big screen before, but as a film fan, as someone who would, of course, go on to eventually make his own films and then fall in love with Sam Raimi's early stuff as well, just even Spider-Man 3, I don't care what anyone says, that is one of the most fun comic book movies out there. From there, I went to the other side of the coin entirely with, not this comic specifically, but Batman The Long Halloween, which was done by the same guys, Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale, and yeah, remember those names? For both the big two, Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale have provided some incredible versions of my and probably your favourite superheroes. The Long Halloween was one of the main inspirations for The Dark Knight. And if I need to tell you about The Dark Knight, stop what you're doing right now if you don't know what I'm talking about, because, Heath Ledger, Christopher Nolan. When I got a little bit older, another Spider-Man comic, Spider-Man Blue. And then we go to something you might have seen in a previous episode, Daredevil Yellow, and Hulk Grey. To very briefly explain all of those, for Marvel, Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale did these kind of colour books, which take a specific time in the superhero they're focusing on. And so for Daredevil, it's retelling his origin. Hulk, similar thing. And Spider-Man, it's following the spoiler for many years ago. It's a love letter to Gwen Stacy, who, of course, tragically died at the hands of the Green Goblin. In regards to Superman for All Seasons, the book I read from earlier, it's, yes, a retelling of Superman's origin, but it tells it in a way that is filled with such emotion and care. That's what I want to see in a Superman film. I'm not going to talk about what I don't want to see because, for the most part, you can imagine. That won't go on the internet. Fucking love you, mate. Okay, so, all right, that is enough about comic books and nerdiness. Well, not quite. In case you missed my Batman. In case you missed my Batman v Superman reaction video, which I filmed with my very best of friends, Peter here. He's here because we're gonna go watch Civil War together. Captain America: Civil War. This is the best film I've seen so far this year. Loot Crate giveaway time! Woo! This is what your Loot Crate will look like if you win. It's a box. But there's stuff in the box. Nerdy stuff, geek, gamer gear. If you want to win, comment below and share the video on Facebook or Twitter.
Tell us all about your favourite comic stuff, you know. Be inventive, be creative. You'll get added points for that.
Favourite comic book film or comic book, and why? First of all, the t-shirt that I wore in my last video, hold this up for me, Peter, modelled by the lovely Peter. We have the Star Trek Mirror Mirror t-shirt, Evil Spock, the Loot Crate theme was Versus. We have medium and large, because I got a Loot Crate too, and that was the small one, because that's the size I wear. So, medium and large, that's the size of the t-shirts. We also have super cool Daredevil, you're missing out the Daredevil bit, Daredevil hat, which is reversible, and it's got the Punisher symbol on it as well, what? Alright, we have Predator figurine. You could also get Alien. It originally comes in a box that I don't have out here. You could get that, and it's either Alien or Predator, because it's Alien versus Predator, of course. And he is the coolest. What? This is kind of cool. It's like a recyclable wallet. It's
got money in it.
It's got money in it.
Indeed it does.
It's got a voucher towards a purchase from whoever these people are.
And possibly more. You have to win it to find out.
Indeed, indeed. Batman v Superman wallet. Super cool pin badge, which is the main theme. Alien vs Predator. Exclusive Harley Quinn Loot Crate comic. And it all comes in this lovely box with this booklet, which tells you all about what's in the box and the fight between
purple and gold.
Indeed. Tips on how to defeat an opponent. Fight tips. Every nerd needs to know how to fight, don't they, Peter?
They certainly generally find out about fighting during life.
Nerd! As modelled by Peter, all that stuff, awesome. Medium or large. If you wanted something small, you could have won it in the last giveaway. Sorry about that. But comment below, favourite comic book or comic book movie and why. Share the video. That's how you enter. I'll pick a winner as soon as I can once people have entered.
Lovely jubbly.
Go for it.
And if you think to yourselves, well, you know, I can't be asked to join and to enter the whole competition thingy. If there's more people like that thinking, then you have a higher chance of winning.
See, exactly. Only a few people entered the last competition. Be the change. Enter. And, thanks for watching, and we will see you very soon.
Toodles.